Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the I'll Try That podcast. I'm joined this week as always by Richard
How we
Jadwell
doing?
and Matthew Barber.
Howdy, partners.
So, chaps, we are going to visit Kent again because, my neck of the woods, because we're going to go visit Harvey's Brewery. Staple down here, this neck of the woods. We've done a whole feature episode on them, so we will, don't go into too much about the history of Harvey's. You can listen to our episode. I think we did like 6 of their like kind of staple beers.
Yeah, it was a
their
belter.
bottle beers. Yeah, I think it was down in Weymouth actually, Rich. It was down at your,
Down
your
my
neck of the woods. And we did a whole bunch of beers.
My memory's been atrocious.
But they've just
We were slightly the worse for wear after that one. I think that's probably added to
yes,
it.
I think so. But reason why we're going to feature Harvey's again is they've just released a bunch of new 4 beers, or canned beers, I should be precise, 2 of which are some of their old favourites, but in can form, and 2 new ones as well. So we'll get a bit more into that later. But Rich, I believe you've got a bit of a hot topic for
Yes,
us.
sorry, I'm just drunk a fair bit of beer quite quickly.
this
You know,
beer-
when you have that first beer,
when you
you just want to get it. It's really good, but I'm just got very gassy all of a sudden. So I'm just
overzealous.
going to apologise. It was so good. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm good. Yes. So hot topic today.
Do you like beer?
I
mate?
do like beer.
Well, I remember my first beer.
It's just very bubbly. It's just bubbling. It's
And that came as a surprise, did
apparently. Yeah, it's been a long day. Me and the dog have been arguing. It's yes.
He's been trying to play with you at 4 in the
4 in
morning.
the morning. As I was telling the lads earlier, he's got to play at 4 in the morning. I got him a new duck toy, and that seems to have set him off. But yeah, it's fine. That's another problem for another day. That's our other dog anxiety podcast. But yes, so we are going to be talking hot topic. That's what we're doing. That's where we are. Yes. So hot topic is
He's
I'm
back on track.
We're going there. So fast food chains. Fast food chains.
What's your favourite? Well, after the hot topic, I think you're going to have a new one, right?
Probably, yeah. After this one, I personally like. You know what? I do love a McDonald's occasionally. It's got to be,
Yeah.
Treat,
I
innit?
quite like a drive-through McDonald's. Whenever me and my partner go on a long journey, like if we're going down to visit my folks or something, like, we have to have McDonald's before we leave Weymouth. It's the
What's your order?
20 nugs and some dipping sauce.
Solid.
Yeah, it's the
Solid. I'm a bit of a select man
Oh,
myself.
I do like a select.
Select.
I do like a select.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm a classic. I'm a Big Mac.
Yeah.
I love a Big
Joe
Mac.
Big
but
Mac
I-
through it. Of course he is.
But yeah, so we're talking about KFC, old Kentucky Fried Chicken, with the old Colonel Sanders. Is it Colonel Sanders? Is it?
Yeah.
Cluck, cluck.
Cluck sort of thing. So they have opened a pub.
What?
In
Naturally.
Hammersmith in London, they've opened a KFC pub. Let me just find it. I can't remember the name now, but it was, they've just opened a pub and my internet has decided to not work on my phone. Has anyone got Google quickly? It's having a mare.
I'm sure it's
Yeah.
somewhere.
I believe it's called the Colonel, which sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
they've opened a KFC pub where you can have pints of beer and order KFC at the same time. Which
Did I read, sorry about this, that Jimmy Bullard is the landlord as well?
is
Who's
Jimmy Bullard.
Why do I
Jimmy
recognise that
Jimmy
name?
Bullard is the footballer. I remember him. I think he was playing for Hull, and I mean he's a bit of a character. He's really really funny, as you can see online. I think it made it onto YouTube or something like that. You know, like when you're watching a football and at the start of the game, they show you the lineups for each team, and they have like the little graphic where they've got a picture of the player of each of the player, but so it's like a little video where they sort of like turn and walk to the camera and look a little bit hard.
Yes.
Um,
yeah.
But Jimmy Bullard did this like mick take of each of them. So he turns around once and he's got his like shorts up to his nipples. That sort of thing. It's worth a
I
look.
recognise him. Yes, I think I know the video you're talking about, actually.
Yeah, I think I heard somewhere
Okay.
that he's the landlord of the
Okay.
Colonel.
Well, you've got to Google this.
I mean, the Colonel also, it tracks there, doesn't it? The pub's called the Colonel,
Yeah.
as in as in the military rank, rather than the colonel, who are those other brewers that we've talked about in the past.
So what I'm just looking at it as well, but it looks like they open the pub every so often, but in different locations. So it looks like
I
it's
see.
a bit
Okay,
like a
'cause I-
pop-up.
Yeah, with you, because I'm sure I'd heard that there was talk about it for a World Cup once upon a time, but it's just come up again. in
So
these, isn't
so
it?
this was KFC opens the first pub in London serving fried chicken straight to tables for the World Cup, with Ginny Bullard is the landlord in West London. So that was in 2020 for the World Cup.
There you go.
And it looks like they've just opened another one in Hammersmith as a pop-up for KFC, a KFC pub pop-up, which I quite like.
I don't want to talk down.
So these are separate
Yeah.
things then. It's
Linked,
linked, obviously,
yeah.
it's KFC doing their pop-up things, but it's not the Jimmy Bullard
No, yeah.
2021. It's a 2025 Hammersmith. Is it back in the Colonel pub in Hammersmith? then?
Must be. It's called the pub is called the Colonel that they're doing it in. But it looks like they call it the Colonel each time they do it as well.
Oh, okay.
Which
Makes
kind of
sense.
makes sense. But yeah, like, are you getting a pint of KFC gravy though? Is the
Oh,
like
no, offside. I'm calling it. on that one.
Does anyone want that?
artery clogging? It's the
I was going to ask you what your beer of choice would be, because also I didn't want to talk
To pair
down
with KFC.
the fried chicken and beer combination, but I have heard this thing, and I think I've tried it a little while ago. Sorry, this is pretty la-di-da of me, but I've heard this thing about if you're having fried chicken, you should have champagne with it.
oh.
Well, that's very la-di-da.
I used
Where
to
have
be
you heard
like
this?
that.
Is this from the Champagne Owners Club?
Yeah. Actually, I went.
You know
I
what
went
also
down,
goes well with champagne?
went-
Pretty much
yeah,
everything.
I went down
So-
to the Champagne region actually, and said,
Yeah.
like, "Where's the nearest KFC for me to enjoy with my
Test this out.
with my Dom P or something like that?"
Who's
Well, going.
who's telling you? Oh no,
Sorry?
yeah. Where have you heard this from?
I move in very
moved in
sophisticated
very
circles.
different. Well, you have just come back from ballroom dancing, so this is
That was not meant to be on the podcast.
Richard's absolutely stitched you up there. We'll glide gracefully away from that topic, and keep moving on to fried chicken and beer though, as an interesting combination. It's a match made in heaven. Absolutely right, Barbs. So when I used to live over in New York, Popeyes was like the
Oh.
chicken restaurant, the fast food restaurant that you needed to go to, and that paired with a Sierra Nevada or a Montauk, where sat out by the water overlooking the Hudson, was just like absolutely creme.
I
So
was going to
that's what
say
you wanted.
Sierra Nevada as well. We've got a place in Bournemouth near us called Seven Bone, which is a chicken restaurant that they do chicken burgers, and they pair it with or they do a lot of IPAs and all of that sort of stuff. But they have Sierra Nevada, and that's what I had last time when I was up there. It was a dirty chicken burger that was covered in gravy, deep fried chicken, like heart attack if you ate one of them, sort of thing. But that was with a Sierra Nevada, and that was delish.
That just tickled my curiosity, and I went and little Google most popular beer in Kentucky.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yes.
Bud Light.
Do I have a guess?
No, it's
I-
a lot
No,
more
it's
Bud
no
Light.
longer
It would
Bud
have been-
Light. It would have been. It would have been at one point.
I was just
Now
looking
it's
at.
probably. It's probably. Begins with an. Modelo.
Interesting shout. Any advance from you, Rich?
Oh, I'm trying to think now. I've gone blank on beers in that area.
So it's interesting. So actually, I think the latest data I could get was from early last year, and actually, I think there was a close run thing, possibly even a tie between. Oh, sorry. I've got a few data streams here. There was brand awareness versus actual consumption. No surprises though. Up there is Kentucky, is Bud
Yeah.
Light.
Yeah.
Although from early 2024, I think that might have been. Can't remember if that was pre or post the Bud Light gate. But there was Corona.
Yes,
I
Corona's
can
good.
see Corona with fried chicken as well.
Oh
would go.
yeah, you want something light, don't you? Corona hits that bill.
Yeah.
For sure.
I thought Kentucky is further north than I thought it was. I thought
Yeah, it's not
Kentucky
that- it's not-
was down.
It's not like
around-
Texas.
No, yeah, and I was thinking that's the climate for Corona, but no, apparently they like it in
It's
in
still like
Kentucky.
middle America, like as in like it's hot though. It's like close to
Yeah.
Arizona, isn't it? Kentucky-ish,
No,
Louisiana,
uh,
north of Louisiana.
Yeah, I was Arizona's over
Yeah,
well,
over the other
way
side.
west, but it's Tennessee.
Yes,
is
some
nearby.
great food in Tennessee.
Oh, some
Yeah,
barbecue.
to be honest, that's not a bad neck of the woods for that sort of thing, is it?
Mm. Yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on there. Food is just in general. If it's like deep fried, basically, it's delicious.
like anything beige and deep fried is.
I was
Smothered in
thinking
gravy.
it's a lighter. I think a lighter, lower percentage beer is the match there. So that, to be honest, that makes a lot of sense. To
Yeah,
me.
you don't want anything heavy. It's like when you eat a burger, you're not going to be drinking a stout with your burger, are you?
No,
Sort
no.
of thing. That'd be a bold choice.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that quite lengthy sidebar from me.
No, well, it's just KFC of a bar, which I'd be up for going.
What's not to
I'd be
like?
up for visiting, but I don't like. It's very greasy.
It's quite like it's obviously not a staple thing they're going to do. It's not like when Lidl tried to. Did they end up buying that bar next to that Lidl in Ireland?
I think they got it
That did
approved.
end up
Yeah,
happening,
I think
didn't
they got it
I
approved.
think it's still. Has it actually opened yet? I think it was probably opening about more recently.
So just I guess the point I was making is like these are gimmicky type things, or they're not like you're gonna start seeing pubs and KFC do this more often around the world. This is like quite a bit of a fun thing to do.
It's an
Yeah.
It's got
interesting.
a brand awareness thing to
It's
do.
almost like you're just combining the food that you would have at the end of the night, the whole time, sort of thing. And I just don't think it'd be worthwhile having just eating KFC the whole time, which I would inevitably do if we were.
But they've done it because it's called the Colonel Pub, right? That's why they've done it.
I'm assuming so, yeah. Or no, it looks like they just stick a sign up saying the Colonel.
Someone had that bright idea. I was wondering what you would have if you were in the pub and had to pick a fast food chain to be doing the food on the menu. What would you go for?
Ooh.
KFC's not a bad shout. I think that with a beer isn't.
I mean, actually,
isn't the power there.
the point I was going to mention actually is I think they could potentially have a really good angle. I haven't darkened the door of a KFC for a little while, but if they combine, in my head, KFC's a pretty affordable option, and then if you were getting that and actually getting your beer at a decent price, then 2 + 2 equals
I know, but
happy
I suppose,
days.
but you look in Europe and you can get beer in McDonald's in France and Spain and all of this sort of stuff. And
true.
it's quite nice to have a cheeky lager with your Big Mac.
Basically, all of this is a nice upgrade from anything you go into a Wetherspoons and you get microwave food. Like, let's just put it this way. Like, if someone's like an actual, like, even if it's a fast food chain, but if a fast food chain is willing to put their food into these pubs, then they'll be better off than going to a Wetherspoons and getting soggy bread and microwave
I
meat.
got ID going into a Wetherspoons last week.
Nice.
That's good. At least they're on top of it.
Yeah, but I look quite weathered. I didn't think I'd get ID'd as a 34-year-old male.
You don't look weathered.
tell you
You
the
look
most
rugged.
Thank you. Yeah.
Rugged. There you go. Rugged. You've just been on the sea, I'd
More,
imagine,
yeah,
as well.
just
Really leaning into it.
just really wanted an all-you-can-eat breakfast.
I mean, in the nicest
the
possible way to as I said, you're rugged, you're not weathered, but that does leave me with slight concern for the 17-year-olds in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, there's no getting in to that
he could be
Wetherspoons, is there?
17 now.
Yes. In fact,
The most ridiculous IDing story I've been a part of. I was in Boston with my dad. Went to a cinema and you could buy beer to go and sit down and do that. And so my dad went up to the counter, orders a couple of things, orders some beers, and the guy ID'd him. He's like, "No, I don't have ID on me." This guy is a 60-year-old man, very clearly older than 21. I know the age is 3 years older in the States, clearly above drinking age. And he's like, "Oh no, sir, I can't give it to you because you don't have an ID." And he's just like, "But this is my son. He has his ID and it shows he's in his late 20s. What more do you need?" Like, I am clearly older than him. And he's got his ID. Anyway, it's like, no, sir. So anyway, I bought the beers and I was like, I'll have 2 beers, please. And,
Well,
then,
that's fine.
And then we got 2 beers and then went and sat down. And then like the manager came in and apologized once he found out what had happened. But my dad was very like, oh, I can't believe it. You know, very chuntry.
He should have been flattered. It's he's aged well.
It was just the fact that this person was standing between him and a beer. You know, we all get like that, don't we? Sometimes.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, someone's standing in my way of a nice cold beverage. It's the
I totally related to where my dad was coming from. I was like, I probably reacted exactly the same way. It's probably 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah. Sometimes the textbook knowledge isn't always the one to follow.
No. Come on, Jobsworth.
Yeah.
Right. Shall we talk about Harvey's for
we
a
can
sec?
talk about Harvey's.
So the new beers, so they've got some funky new can designs. That's why anyway I wanted to bring them on. So I sent you guys a link so you can have a little bit of a chat. But I'll give a bit of a preamble while you guys do that. So they've come out with some new 440ml cans. They have repackaged their Sussex Best Bitter, which is their staple they're known for, and also their Pilsner in these can forms, and they've done some funky cool designs for them. And they've also released a Pelles Pale, which is a 3.7% ABV, hoppy, fruity, and dry pale ale, and they've released a Wharf IPA, which is a 4.2% zesty British hops IPA. So yeah, both of them. All 4 of them make up this range, 2 of which are already part of their, they probably pumped these out and they're just putting them in can form. 2 are like new as well. But yeah, an interesting move from Harvey's. We're seeing this a little bit, aren't we? We'd noted it even last time we talked about Badger and their Outland breweries, that they're doing a kind of a traditional beer brewery, taking a new take on beers. This seems to be Harvey's way of doing it as well.
Well, it's the same as they're just trying to move with the times, aren't they? They're realizing that their traditional beer isn't going to sell as well as it is. They've got to add something for the youth of today.
Yeah, there's a danger
But
that
they
people
are
will turn
giving
away
them-
without
sorry.
one. No, I was
Yeah.
just say, people might turn away if you haven't got, a zesty hoppy IPA, and people might turn
Yeah.
around if you haven't got, that sort of lighter, easy drinking option.
But I do like the fact that they've done 2 of their like staple beers like in these cans as well. These aren't all just forget that we're Harvey's. We're now, Marvies, and we're all about craft beer and this is what we're doing. It's like, no, actually, we're Harvey's Brewery. We just bought some cans out. You can still get your Sussex Best and your Pilsner that you know and like, but here are 2 other beers if you want to try them out.
That's a bit like
or
backing
interest
yourself,
to it.
isn't it? To be like, this is good, try this. If you being in the can is more accessible for you, then by all means have it. But it's good beer that we already do. So enjoy.
I think, yeah, making it. I think cans are more accessible, aren't they? Across, they're a bit more sturdy, a bit more willing to take them places, and you can take them into some festivals. If you're going to take them out for day events and all of this sort of stuff, it's a bit hazardous carrying
That's
a load
it.
of glass into places, and most places don't allow glass in. But yeah, I get the practicality of it.
I was having quite a hilarious conversation with a bloke who was got a bit older than myself, who was telling me that he doesn't trust beer from a can. It's like I said, but why? And it's just like, well, it's not natural, is it? Beer has to be in a glass or. I was like, right, okay,
Yeah.
it's not exactly. Cans have been around for quite a long time. Mate.
Is he really put off by baked beans? He's like, can't touch them. They have to be. He can't have anything canned.
Serve me
He's
baked
against
beans
the
boiled
canning
ends, but
industry
from
as
a
a
glass
whole.
bottle.
Big canning.
I'll tell you what. When Heinz came out with their squeezy bottles, he had an absolute fit.
Trying to think what other good stuff you're getting canned. I mean, as you've got a fair concern about that roast chicken.
Yeah.
Custard. Just custard, that comes in tins,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah, custard in tins,
custard
yeah.
in tins, yeah.
Spam.
Oh,
Ah.
no, that would just, no, it's just making my beer
Still not
taste
sure spam is
worse.
natural, whatever happens, is it?
Rolly loves spam. It's
Does Rolly also lick his testicles?
well, he hasn't got any.
Oh.
But he likes to play pretend.
Yeah, that's it. Hasn't got any testicles to lick, so he eats spat. Fair
Oh.
trade.
We can't be mocking spam. It's
Yeah.
We
Or
can
Rolly,
be
for that
mocking
matter.
spam. It's horrendous. No one's out here defending spam, are they?
Did the name come about with someone like, is this ham? And they go, it's special ham.
Well, it's like, if someone decided that, mashed potato needed to become in powder form and call it smash.
Maybe it started in glass bottles, spam, and then they went, you know what, this needs a bit of edge. We'll put it in a can to appeal to a new market. Harvey's have pulled the old spam routine on everyone.
Oh, sorry, but back to Harvey's away from spam. I'm looking at the design, their new design cans, and I'm a fan.
Yeah.
They're nice. They're
Yeah.
good. They're not.
They're cool illustrations,
Yeah.
aren't they?
They're
A bit quirky, a bit fun, a bit poppy, vibey colours. But you can see from like the Sussex Best that they've taken the brewery illustration that they've got and just kind of like macro
Yeah.
blown it up over the can, which is cool. Yeah, so as Bob was saying, kind of like a fresh take on their like traditional beer and their traditional image. But then these other ones they've done some interesting things.
I
with
like
them.
them. I like the Wharf IPA and the Pelles Pale. I'm a big fan of the duck on the Pelles Pale. I think he's very cool.
He's
What
got a
do you
hop in
think
his
the
mouth.
decision? He has. He's still beer. Just so you know, he's into beer.
Yeah, you've got it. Yeah.
And what's in the can?
Yep.
What's in the can is hops, not ducks. Sorry, Joe, you were saying something more useful.
Right. So just looking at the cans, so they've dropped the Harvey's logo as we from there. So on the cans that have the Sussex Best Bitter and the Pilsner, they have Harvey's Brewery in the traditional like Harvey's up top, and then the stacked and the brewery underneath with the Harvey's Brewery logo, which is the brewery itself in this like illustration form, like locked up together. Whereas for the Pelles Pale and the Wharf IPA, they've just written Harvey's Brewery in a new typeface, so it looks a bit funky, a bit jazzy, all on one line. And they've dropped the brewery. What do you think the decision of that is all about?
Younger people,
Younger.
young men. Well, could be women as well, but I imagine predominantly
I
men.
suppose I feel it's that they're showing that they're moving forward. They're being ever progressive.
They've got to wrestle for that space for catching people's eye on a shelf, haven't they?
That's it. Shelf standouts, wins out.
Yeah.
More. Well, you've got to have a good product as well.
Save money.
But yes, you've definitely got to catch people's
Save
eyes.
money on printing.
Got a point.
Yeah, could be. Could be. It's not a bad shout. So talk about product then. These are delicious. These are both very good beers. So I've got the Pelles Pale and the Wharf IPA, and I've had a bit of both of them. And yeah, both of them are banging. Exactly what you expect. The Pale Ale is that kind of like sweet, like smoother. It's not smoother. It's kind of like a bit easier drinking. It's a bit fruitier, whereas the IPA has got that little bit more of a punch to it that you'd expect from an IPA, but nothing too massively overpowering. It's not like it's got chili in it or something. So it's definitely got a little bit of an IPA kick, but it's in a Harvey's way, so it's not in a overpowering sorts. But yeah, both of them are very palatable. Enjoy them.
Well, I tried to find some today. I went to a couple of different places, but I was turning up not trumps. That's when it's positive. I was turning up a blank. Turning up empty.
Yeah, I imagine these haven't really made their way outside of Kent yet. They're probably doing a bit of a soft launch, let's say, in Kent.
Okay. Yeah. It's a shame because I liked Harvey's last time we had them. They were good.
Well, you can buy them direct from their website. They'll definitely ship them to Weymouth.
That's always a positive. That's them.
Yeah.
They don't do a mixed case though, do they?
No, you'd have to buy a 12-pack of each of them.
And unfortunately, near £72 on
That's a lot.
24 beers.
It's a lot.
£72 on 24 beers is currently not in my financial future.
That is mad, actually. That price is pretty ridiculous.
It's 36 quid.
£36 for 12 beers in cans. They are 440ml, but still, that's pretty wild.
That's a mad sum of money.
Did we ever get to the bottom of the 440ml? Where did that come from and why? Like,
What-
I mean, to
what
be
do you mean?
honest, where did any measurement come from, really? But like, you
Well,
know,
40 mils a pint, isn't it?
no, 5, 6,
Or
8.
just off it's just off a pint. Oh, it's not even close to it.
And like 330 mils of like being bottles for like yonks, aren't they? And like you get the big bottles for those continental beers that are like 660. And 500 mil also. That 500 mil also was like seemingly a continental measure, wasn't it? And
So I've had to Google it because you've piqued my interest. 440 ml can size for beer is a standard in the UK, often preferred for lager and cider. What were you sure? It's not a direct equivalent to a pint. You're absolutely right, Barb. So that was 568, but it's close enough to be considered a common serving size. This size also allows for easy packaging and in 4-packs, which can make 3 nice pints with a little left over.
Have we had 440 for ages then?
Yeah.
It's been popular in the States at 440, but you're right. I think like a Carlsberg has been, and a Guinness obviously is a 440.
To be fair, real ales you sort of always used to get in 500 mil. And then there is always
500 ml cans.
No, bottles. You know,
bottles.
like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes,
so
yes,
like
yes.
all those Harvey's ones you've had for years, I would have thought would be 500 mils.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I know
they are.
like when you go and buy whatever like we're going to call normal beers that you would buy in a shop in a can. I'm now trying to remember what maybe it was 440 mil, but it was always like you would then have a special mention for any that was specifically a pint can.
Because I remember when we a bit younger and you'd go shopping and you'd be trying to buy most bang for your buck sort of thing, and then you would find the pint cans, and it was normally Stella, Carling or Carlsberg used to do it, but it was
Special brew.
You know what? I can quite confidently say I was never a special brew buyer. That's
I think I've tried it once.
we've done special brew here.
Yeah. That's why I've tried special brews, because we did it on the podcast. There was no way I was picking up a special brew.
So I'm thinking
outside.
about being a horrid soap dodger student and drinking cans of Fosters.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard someone else refer to students as soap dodgers recently.
So derogative.
If anything, I think soap's the cheaper.
That's a
thing to wash yourself with.
Yeah, I think it's a slightly archaic view of students. I would think students these days are quite the opposite. But I was thinking back to those days, drink cans of Fosters. Heavens above, why on earth did we do that? Probably again because it was cheap. But maybe those cans were 440 mil.
Fosters was what's it?
568. You mean they were pint-sized cans?
I don't think they were.
No, I don't think they were pint-sized cans.
Yes, Fosters are definitely 440. You're absolutely right.
Blimey.
Yeah.
So to be honest, we've gone down this whole path, and it's just because I can't remember things very well.
Stella cans are 440. They come in different sizes, but the standard in the UK is 440. So, yeah.
Weird.
What are you
I thought it
drinking
was a
there,
new
Bobs?
thing. I think I've done a couple of features on this. I buy it because I like it. Lost and Grounded.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Is that
Pelles.
440?
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, I'm just looking at
Where the hell did this come
I'm
from?
looking at the 2 beers I've had. They're at 440 as well. So yeah,
It's almost like they're standard.
it's almost like we
you know?
just haven't really cottoned
It's a
on
standard
to it.
measurement.
You heard it here first, everyone.
The
I don't
After Hour
quite know how we
podcast
got
have
it.
rediscovered beers that everyone else knew.
When you get, sorry, I'm trying to think of some counterexamples, and I am clutching at straws here. But also, when we beer 52, lots of them would be 330s. Although,
They
to be
are,
fair,
yes.
again, contrary to what I was saying earlier, that is not normal average, is it?
No.
Yeah.
No,
sorry,
the
sorry, everyone.
440 is.
My big revelation turns out to be not such a revelation after all.
Just
I'm glad we could go through that with you, though. You know,
I would really like when we put this one out to the world, if we could have that as almost like the catchline. When did we move to 440 mil, and then later on just go, yeah, it's sort of always been there, really.
it's almost like trying to say that lager's back.
Lager,
You know?
yeah, it is though.
Lager is
I
back.
have
to be
heard.
fair.
it's the
Yeah.
so you'd recommend Harvey's.
So, yeah, I think Yeah, I think it's a fresh take on Harvey's. I like what they've done, as you said, Rich, with the packaging, and Barbara was saying it does stand out, so that's good. And yeah, they're trusted beer makers, and it does exactly as it says on the tin. You get some good quality product on the inside. So yeah, definitely worth trying the
Maybe
Pelles Pale and Wharf IPA, like both of those, and I've had both the Sussex Best Bitter and the Pilsner a lot before, so much so that the Sussex Best, we got an announcement at the squash club I'm a member of recently that the bar was raising the price of a pint of Harvey's from £3.50 to £4.20 because of the rise in cost of goods, and there was uproar, and they had to settle on £3.80 to make a loss on every pint sold.
I'm just saying that £3.50 is a great price for a pint.
It was.
Even £3.80 is
Gone are those
particularly in your
days.
neck of the woods.
Well, they make a loss on it. They need to be. They were quite literal. We are passing this on at cost at £4.20, and everyone kicked up such a fuss because there are quite a lot of people that love Sussex Best. Where they were like, "Well, we're going to have to sell it at as a trial at £3.80. See how it does." And obviously, people are going to still buy the volume of beer that they're at. They're just going to put the price up, basically.
I love
right?
the fact that they have to lose money on it because people kicked off.
Just for a bit. Yeah, exactly.
Won't someone protect these institutions?
Yeah, and people get really annoyed when all these places close down. But that's
Yeah, I know. God.
oh, funny like that.
And that's all we have time for this week's episode of the I'll Try That podcast. And so from me, Joe, Rich,
Barber.
And Simo.
goodbye. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram,
Twitter.
I'll try that podcast.com.
And watch us on YouTube.
Goodbye now.